I haven't played my Nintendo Switch for a whole week, and I'm gonna be talking about that and more, but first I'm gonna get a glass of water, because I forgot. You'll have noticed in the past couple days that I haven't made any videos. I've just been really busy, just doing a lot of normal work. But I do want to update you with a few things. First of all, things that are interesting today, which is sort of late and breaking, is Project Scorpio, which is the next console after Xbox One, is now called Xbox One X, which you'll have noticed is XBOX, which is basically Xbox. So within Xbox One X, there is the whole word Xbox One X, which means that it's a recursive name, and I'm pretty sure that that was done on purpose. Nerds! Next thing that I found interesting is Dragon Ball Z is going to be another fighting game, but this time a little bit differently because apparently the developers of the game, this Dragon Ball game, are the same developers who did Guilty Gear Xrd, I think it's pronounced. And Guilty Gear Xrd is one of those really interesting fighting games which I don't think anyone was expecting to be as successful as it was, but it looks really beautiful because it's 3D graphics, but it looks like 2D, and I don't have anything as a good example, but just because this is sitting in front of me. As you can see, there's like an anime face here, and there's only shadow on half of the face, but when you would normally show like a 3D model, the shaders will cause the shadow to be very accurately on the bottom of the cheek and like the bottom of the chin, the bottom of the eyelid, and it won't look like the way that a normal anime artist would shade their work. Whereas in Guilty Gear Xrd, they came up with some really interesting math to cause it to have very anime style shading all the time, and it looks really beautiful. So I'm really excited to see. First of all, I'm going to actually go and play Guilty Gear Xrd because it looks really good. I don't know why I didn't really think about it before. I think I just wasn't as into fighting beat-em-up games for the past year as I am like this past week. But I'm really keen to see how Dragon Ball is going to look because it's by the same people who made Guilty Gear Xrd, I think. So that's really exciting. This is really interesting. The next one is Minecraft Pocket Edition is now going to be called Minecraft. What? So now Pocket Edition is Minecraft, but most of you who play Minecraft will think Minecraft is Minecraft. Pocket Edition is like the lesser version of Minecraft, so what they're doing is they're trying to turn it into sort of Minecraft, instead of being Minecraft and Minecraft Lesser Edition, it's more like Minecraft and Minecraft Pro, and the Minecraft Pro version, the PC version, is going to be called Minecraft like Java Edition. So I mean, it does have that nerd factor to it, but I don't think the PC fans are going to be happy with the way that's been named. Plus, I don't really know how the features have changed in Pocket Edition. I know that Pocket Edition has come a very long way, but something that I just heard is that apparently Pocket Edition, Windows 10 Edition, and the Switch version of Minecraft are going to be able to play together, like online, and on servers. Like, I mean, I don't know all details, but I'm just telling you this is what I've been reading recently and finding interesting. I don't actually know if it's true. I'm gonna have to do a little more research, but I find that really exciting, being able to play Minecraft with people who don't really care to play on a console. Like, I'm gonna play on a console because I love buttons. I mean, if I could get a Pocket Edition version of Minecraft with buttons, like the accessory that clicks onto the iPad, that would be okay, but personally I would much prefer playing on the Switch just because it performs really well. I find the version that they came out on Switch just feels exactly like the version on the PS Vita, but at a higher frame rate. I feel like when I was using pistons and that sort of thing, like redstone stuff on Pocket Edition, I felt like it was still a little bit broken, so I'm keen to see if this new engine that is running Minecraft Pocket Edition, Windows 10 Edition, and Switch, I'm very keen to see if the piston and redstone stuff works on it correctly. If not, I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. If piston stuff works on like Switch but doesn't work on Pocket Edition, like, is it gonna be weird? Like, hopefully it'll feel the same on all Minecraft platforms. Then the topic of today's video, I didn't play my Nintendo Switch for a whole 7 days, and let me go through why I think this is interesting. Now, as you know, last week I was in Hiroshima, and I did bring my Switch with me, and I was playing a lot of King of Fighters. What's interesting is that King of Fighters on the Switch gave me that thirst, that hunger to buy an arcade stick and play King of Fighters 14, which is on my PS4. And once I finally got into the PS4 version, the King of Fighters 14, I also bought Tekken 7, which I haven't played much of. I tried it once. And also, like, I've been really getting into Street Fighter games, so I actually downloaded Street Fighter games on my PS Vita. It's interesting because all the stuff on Switch is just making me want to play games on other platforms. When you think about it, Switch, because it's a real port machine right now, people probably don't want to hear that, but that's exactly what it is. If you look at the store on the Nintendo Switch, they've got King of Fighters 98, King of Fighters 99. It's like we've had these ports for decades on other machines. We've had it, like, you know, we've had the originals like a decade ago, we got them on PS1, you know, or maybe 2 decades ago, I'm not sure. But anyway, the Switch is a serious port machine. Even with Splatoon coming out, it's called Splatoon 2, but it's not that different to Splatoon 1. Okay, it's like a slightly evolved version of Splatoon, but essentially it's just Splatoon Switch edition. That's how I kind of see it, with this extra like one-player stuff that's gonna hopefully entice some new players in, but Nintendo pretty much knows that Splatoon has had its wave. It's not bringing in like huge waves of new people right now, so they're just trying to keep as many people playing Splatoon as, you know, the people who bought it on the Wii U. I'd be surprised if it actually outsells the previous version of Splatoon. I mean, that would be nice, but I don't think it's going to really bring in a huge new audience. Then we got all the SNK games, which are all ports from previous things. Puyo Puyo Tetris is actually a 3-year-old game. I played that while I was on the train as well to Hiroshima. But it's that port feeling. It's like, well, you could play this on other things, and what it is really for me is that King of Fighters gave me that thirst for more King of Fighters, and so I ended up playing it on my PS4 using this thing, the arcade stick. So I find that like a bit of a shame because right now there's not very much on Switch, which makes me feel like I've gotta get my Switch out. Right now I'm actually like mostly really into bringing my Vita around, especially as, if you haven't seen the video, I made a little review or test out of this little accessory, which gives you L3 and R3 buttons, or is it L2 and L3 buttons. I want reasons to play my Switch. I mean, I've had it for over 3 months now, and I'm starting to wonder, where are the games? So, come on Nintendo, we need more games. And you know, it's fair to say, just be patient, more stuff is coming, but I have not seen announcements flying in thick, you know, the way that we expected that by 3 months' time. We were hoping like tons of third-party developers were going to say, hey, that console's doing really well, I really want to develop my game for the Switch. I'm not seeing a lot of that. In fact, the only news I saw about Switch recently was Skyrim gets a new trailer for the Switch. It's like, yeah, but pretty much everyone who wants to play Skyrim has probably already played it. And the last thing that I was going to mention is that I have gone recently fighting game beat 'em up crazy, as you'll have remembered from the video where I posted about unboxing the arcade stick. In about 2 days, well basically the weekend, I bought like 3 Street Fighter games. I bought Street Fighter Alpha 2, Street Fighter Alpha 3, also known as Street Fighter 02 and Street Fighter 03. And I also bought Street Fighter 3 Third Strike Online on the PlayStation. What an incredible deal! First of all of these games cost, well okay, Street Fighter Alpha 1 and 2 were about $8 each. Street Fighter 3 Third Strike Online was only like $15? Well, what a steal for such an amazing game. It's like $15, and that's why it's really worth still hanging on to your PS3 and onto your Vita, because even though I've got my Switch, I can still play hundreds of PS1 games on my Vita. That's hundreds more games than you can play on the Switch. That's not to say that one is better than the other, I'm just saying I don't feel any need to bring my Switch around with me, as much as I did like the first couple months. The first couple months I was like, bring my Switch everywhere! Now it's like, I bring my Switch everywhere and then I'm still just playing KOF 99 or Breath of the Wild and, Puyo Puyo vs Tetris. But apart from that, I'm like, I really wish I had at least 6 or 7 games that I could have on rotation. Oh no, God. What I really want for the Switch is Project Diva. If Project Diva were on the Nintendo Switch, man, I mean, just look at this controller. This is born for Project Diva. That's pretty much all I have to say. That's just a little quick update. I realize that E3 is happening. I don't have like super up-to-date information about E3. I won't be posting like daily news videos about E3, but when I do find stuff, particularly interesting stuff that I really want to talk about, I will probably make a video. I guess the whole Minecraft stuff was probably part of E3, and the Dragon Ball Z announcement, that was probably part of E3. But in recent news for me, it's just beat 'em ups, beat 'em up, beat 'em ups. Like, I have never beaten Street Fighter Alpha 3, ever. I don't think I was ever good enough as a kid to beat it. And now that I'm emulating it on my PS Vita, I put it in level 5 out of 8. It's like top level's 8. Put it in like difficulty level 5 and boom, managed to beat it. And I was like, what is happening? Like, this is what happens when you just put a little more time and effort into something. You can really figure out, why am I losing, and then win. So anyway, I'm really into beat 'em ups right now. A lot of exciting stuff. Clearly, every day this summer is going to be an exciting time for games. Let me know what you guys are excited about in the comments. I'm mostly excited about King of Fighters 14 coming out in the arcades in Japan. That will be June 29th, I think. They'll actually have KOF 14 machines in the arcade. That's kind of what I'm aiming for. I want to be good enough at KOF 14 that I can go to an arcade, and I mean, I'll probably still lose, but you know, I want to be a bit of a challenge. I want to put up at least a small bit of fight when it comes out in arcades. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, share the links and all that great stuff, and I'll see you in the next NihongoGamer video.